Hi everyone, this is Lady T from Lady T Speaks, bringing you the latest in hip hop, R&B, and entertainment news. Yes, my voice is still recovering, but I had to come on and talk about famous singer James Ingram. Boy, I have listened to his songs over and over again. As a matter of fact, they're even in my playlist. And maybe you all may not remember him, but you will definitely remember his voice. If you heard it on the radio, his voice was very distinctive. The New York Times did a really nice piece, and I just want to share some of it with you today. James Ingram, whose voice technically precise, crisp, and reserved, yet full of audacious feeling, made him one of the defining singers of R&B in the 1980s. He died yesterday at 66. The actress and choreographer Debbie Allen, a frequent collaborator with Mr. Ingram on musical theater projects, announced his death on Twitter Tuesday, calling him her dearest friend and creative partner. She did not say where or when he died or specify the cause, but they're saying he had brain cancer. That's what some of the sources are saying. Just as R&B's quiet storm phase was peaking, and maybe some of the millennials may not remember Quiet Storm, but WDAS still has a Quiet Storm that comes on at 7 p.m. It's one of the best R&B music times. If you go listen, you just won't regret it. And often his songs are played. But Mr. Ingram was plucked from side gig obscurity by producer Quincy Jones to appear on his 1981 album, The Dude. That's another album. If you don't know about music, you got to check that one out for real. It has all types of phenomenal music on that. And Mr. Jones discovered Mr. Ingram on a demo of Just Once, another great song written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, which he sang for $50. Mr. Jones loved not just the song, but the singer as well. And he called Mr. Ingram, who initially hung up on him, and invited him to perform Just Once and another song, 100 Ways, on that album. 100 Ways is, I think it's a female anthem song. You got to check it out. Both songs became huge hits, cracking the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100. 100 Ways earned Mr. Ingram a Grammy in 1982 for Best Male R&B and Vocal Performance. Up until Mr. Jones rang him up, Mr. Ingram had been content in the background. And he said, I was never no singer. I never shopped a deal, none of that. And that's what he told Chicago Tribune in 2012. But his voice was luscious and commanding. His music was gentlemanly and romantic. And Mr. Ingram just had one of those voices that you couldn't stop listening to. And that's in my opinion. He was born in February 16, 1952 in Akron, Ohio. He sang in a church choir. His father was a deacon, and he even taught himself how to play the piano. And after high school, he passed up a track scholarship to focus on music, eventually moving to Los Angeles. When Jones discovered him, Mr. Ingram had been inching his way into the music business for about a decade. He had been a pianist for Ray Charles, played in a band with Revelation Funk, which contributed a soundtrack on Dolomite, the movie, in 1975. He played in Dick Clark's support bands, and he's done a lot of demo singing work. After the success of Just Once and 100 Ways, James Ingram became a force in R&B in 1982. He recorded a duet with Patti Austin, Baby Come to Me, which reached #1 on the Hot 100. Then in 93, he released a solo album, It's Your Night, which featured several hits, including another duet with Miss Austin, How Do You Keep the Music Playing, another great song. And then Yah Mo Be There. That was the song he did with Michael Mcdonald. And that earned him his second Grammy in 1985. So throughout the years, he worked again with Quincy Jones. He worked with Spielberg in the film The Color Purple. He wrote some of the soundtrack. And then one of the most famous people he ever worked with was, of course, Michael Jackson. And he did Pretty Young Thing along with Quincy Jones. And this is what James Ingram said at that time. It's almost like I got the chance to go to Oz, and Quincy was the Wizard of Oz, and Michael Jackson was who he was dealing with in his world. Mr. Ingram told that to Jet Magazine in 2002. Another famous one of duets that he did was with Linda Ronstadt, Somewhere Out There, and that was a soundtrack in the movie An American Tale, and it reached #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. And then he also did soundtracks in Beverly Hills Cops 2, Forget Paris, and City Slickers. His work is just ongoing. He did so much. He is survived by his wife, and I believe him and Deborah had children. So we send our prayers out to the Ingram family. Rest in peace. What a great voice. You certainly will be missed. All right, everyone. This is Lady T from Lady T Speaks, bringing you the latest in hip-hop, R&B, and entertainment news. As I often say, make your day great and live your life on purpose. Take care. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you all soon.